This broadcast is part of the IC Robots radio network. Visit icrobots.com for this and many other nerd/nostalgia-related podcasts. You won't be sorry for long.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire.
I don't wanna grow up, don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna grow up, don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with.
Welcome to the Toys R Us Report, a weekly journey into the life of a guy who spends more time in the toy section than the kid who hangs the figures from the pegs. Your host, IC Robots.
Greetings, Earth people! I am from Jupiter. It is me again, IC Robots. I am not a hero, but I do sacrifice a bit of my week each and every week to make your week a bit less week. And this week, dudes, it's gonna get so much less week. We're gonna have a bit of a short show, but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about that new Avengers movie. Gonna talk about a whole bunch of fun things. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great. I guarantee that you will have. Guarantee you're gonna have a super time. So without further ado, let's hit it.
He's the greatest of the great. Get it straight, he's great. Playing fame because his name is known in every state. To see him play will make you day. God damn, that podcast made my day. Yo, IC Robots, just kick a little something for them cars that be bumping.
Will do. I'm on top of it. Let's kick a little something for them cars with the bass in the back. Is that still a thing? I do think it is. Every once and again, I hear somebody go by the Earth base, and I'm like, man, that car's got some thump. Back in the day, we used to ride around in the thumping car. Me and my man Chris, and my man Slug Nutty. Slug Nutty had he had this bright yellow Cadillac with the big box in the back, and he had the subwoofers and all that stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know a whole lot about car stereos. I'm the type that just like, whatever's in there, dude, I'll stick with it. If it's just got a radio, I'll play the radio. If it's got a tape player, I'll play some tapes. The ISR Mobile has a tape player. I play tapes in it, man. I play some of these rap tapes that I buy. I recently got 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul, and I've been playing that. I got the Score by the Fugees at the flea market the other week, and I've been playing that. That's a great tape, dude. The Fugees were, I don't think that history remembers them as well as they were. They were pretty good, man. They released some good music. The first two are both solid, but then the group kind of imploded. I think that Wyclef's first one, his first solo one, is pretty good. I even like Praz's first solo one. I'm not the biggest Lauryn Hill fan in the world. She kind of switched over to singing, and I only think she's an okay singer. I think that for a rapper that sings, she's terrific as a singer. But if she tries to go out there as a singer, she doesn't really, I don't think she has it as much as she has it as a skill as a rapper. I think she's an all-time great MC, but that's nothing. That's nothing that anybody asked about. Nobody wants to know what I think about the Fuge, about the refugee camp. So dig this. Me and the old wife were in the Safeway the other day doing our weekly grocery shopping trip. We go to the Safeway over on Calistoga Road, and we're doing the trip, right? We got the cart and we're walking around, and both her and I are ardent players of Pokemon Go. We play a lot. We have a good time. I think it's fun. It's not like it's the most complicated, involved game in the world, but I do like to walk the dog, and it's fun. It's fun to catch Pokemon when I'm walking the dog. It makes the time go by quicker. If I'm out doing something, it makes the time go quicker. I like how the game is out in the real world. It prompts me to go out there, and it's free. Me and the wife have fun. We walk around, we collect Pokestops, we collect Pokemon. It's good. Get some exercise, get some fresh air while catching Pokemon, dude. You gotta catch them all. And we were at the Safeway, and we were doing it while we're walking around. She has her phone sitting in the cart on her purse, and I got it in my hand. I'm kind of looking at it as we're walking along, and we were going through the bakery section. We were at the end of the shopping trip. We start over at produce, go through the aisles, and we end up in the bread. So we're over in the bread, getting ready to go out. And as we're walking by, I heard him say Pokemon Go. And I thought, oh, maybe these are like other Pokemon Go players. Then maybe they saw me and they're like, Pokemon Go. So I look behind me and I see this couple. It's a husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend, or brother or sister. I don't know. There's a guy and a gal, and they're both garbed in all black with like dyed black hair. The girl has like one side of her head shaved, and they got those big earring plugs and stuff. And the guy was wearing a Corn t-shirt, for real. It said Corn, and he had like a baseball hat with the flat brim pulled kind of sideways, and he had earrings or whatever. And I'm not judging, man. It's just, that's what they look like. So I look over there to see what they said, and I hear the girl go, "Look at those two bleep, bleep, bleeps playing Pokemon Go." They said some swears that were basically disparaging our intelligence. Like, look at these dumb bleeps playing their dumb bleep game over there. And look, man, I am not by any means the Street Fighter type. I'm not the kind that's going to go and start trouble. But I do have a bit of a wit, and I will use my wit if somebody talks junk at me. If they talk junk, I will from time to time give them the wit back. So I'm getting ready to unload some wit. But then I see that they're way far off. Like, they said what they said a good 50 to 75 feet away. I'm surprised I heard them. It shows me they had to be saying it in a loud voice. I'm surprised that I heard. So by this time, they are off back toward the produce section. They are so far away that for me to say something back, I would have to yell. And I also realized these are the kind of people that are saying stuff from a distance to where you can't confront them. They are, for lack of a better word, a couple punks. They're a couple punks who don't want any retaliation. They just want to say what they're going to say, hopefully hurt your feelings, and then move on. But you can't hurt me with words, dudes. I got skin like a rhinoceros when it comes to these kind of verbal assaults. When it comes to hateful words, I got skin like a rhinoceros. Diamonds on my binder, 4th grade I was. It doesn't worry me when people say stuff. I don't get worried. I don't really get upset, I wonder what is it that prompts them to want to say mean things, what is it that makes somebody want to just like bum some dude out who's just like walking around playing Pokemon Go? It's like, what do you care what I'm doing, dude? Just like, mind your own business, live your life. I go through life with the motto of just live your life, dude. Do what you want. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't care, man. Do your thing. And it's weird when people like want to comment on how I'm doing my thing. What do you care that I represent Team Valor in the Safeway, and I'm trying to catch my 400th Magikarp so I can evolve it into a Gyarados or whatever it is. I started thinking on this. I started thinking on this, and just like last week, we went to a Comic-Con, right? And all kinds of people cosplay. And when I was there, I started thinking about cosplay. I started thinking, why is it that people want to do it? I dig like from the design standpoint and the art standpoint, but then sometimes you'll go and there are people who they're wearing their dope outfit, but they're also like acting as if they are the characters. And I'm not judging. I think that that's interesting when people do that. And I start thinking, I wonder if what is going on is if the person feels like when they're in the costume, they're letting out what is truly inside of them. When the guy is dressed up like Captain America, is it because on the inside he feels like, I want to be Captain America, I want to have valor, and I want to do all these good deeds for people and whatever. But then on the flippy flip, There are dudes who dress, for example, like the Joker, and they run around and they act all nefarious. You know, they're all into mischief. Or somebody who dresses like Loki and they run around and they like pretend to stab people. And I wonder, is that what they feel like on the inside? When you see somebody who's dressed like Darth Vader, is it because on the inside he feels like Darth Vader? Is he somewhat drawn to villainy? And that's what I started thinking about these people who called us names for enjoying our day. Essentially, that's what they did. We were enjoying our day. They called us names. So I started thinking, I wonder if they are inherently drawn toward villainy. Do they feel like, I'm going to be the fun crusher plus. I'm going to see somebody have fun, and I'm going to do what I can do to make sure they don't have fun, because they can't go out there and blow up an orphanage or do whatever it is that the Joker would do. They can't poison the river with Joker venom so that all the fish have smiley faces, because they don't have the wherewithal to invent the Joker venom. There's no river full of fish around here. So they just take it to where, I'm going to ruin Icy Robot's fun. I see that fool trying to evolve his Magikarp, and I'm just going to call him a dummy. I'm going to call him a dummy and ruin his day, and then I'm going to slip off into the shadows. I don't know, man. Some people may just be drawn to villainy. I myself, I feel as if I'm a good guy, dude. I'm drawn to the forces of good. I'm not the cosplay type, but if I were the cosplay type, I may very well cosplay as a Captain America, because inside, I feel like I just want to make the world a better place. Just want to make people smile, want to have a good time, want to enjoy myself as I am going about doing it. So, I don't know, man. This is just like a little sociology for the day. This is all not here nor there. We're going to move right into At the Movies. This is going to be the main crux of the show, because as you know, the Avengers came out. The Avengers Infinity War is out. I've seen it, and I will tell you all about it in a sec.
In a moment, At the Movies, without Ebert, Siskel, or even that dude Roper. But you got Icy Robot, so that's something, right?
Dread it. Run from it. The end is near.
We're gonna need some help.
How you been, Buck?
Not bad for the end of the world.
He brought back! 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 He brought back!
Today we don't fight for one life. We fight for all of them.
Avengers Infinity War.
When you said we were going to open Wakanda to the rest of the world, this is not what I imagined.
What did you imagine?
The Olympics? Maybe even a Starbucks?
Everywhere April 27th.
So here it is. The time is now. This movie, The Avengers Infinity War, it's 10 years in the making. I remember the very day that I went with my man Greg, who I don't see as much as I would like to. I'm down here on the Earth base right now. You might hear Ursa the Wonder Dog sort of fidgeting around. She's got an itch, you know. She's got a little hot spot, and she keeps messing with it. So you might hear her, but I'm not going to ask her to leave. She's my good bud, you know. She's my bro, so she gets to stay. But I remember the day that me and my man Greg went to see Iron Man 1, and who knew that 10 years later this would still be going on, and this would be one of the biggest things in the entire history of things. This is the culmination of all these other movies I've seen, some good, some pretty good, some not good at all, but it all built to this, Avengers Infinity War. And if I learned anything from my experience seeing Black Panther, in which I in which I thought I was getting there early, but it wasn't early enough, and I had to sit in the front section, and I had less fun than I would have. If I learned anything from that, I learned this. I thought ahead, and I went and I bought 4 seats at the more fancy theater over in the next town over with the reclining chairs, the big comfy reclining chairs and the tray for your food and all that. I got 4 seats. I got one for me, the wife, the kid, and the kid's gal pal. We all went together. It was a hoot, man. This was an experience. I can't think of any movie that's been built up as much as this, except maybe The Force Awakens. That was like 30 years into waiting to see what was going to happen to these characters. This is 10 years in the making. We've seen more of it than I have seen Star Wars. I'm not a prequel guy except for Rogue One, but what I'm saying is this was a big deal that was built up after all these other smaller adventures, and man, I gotta say, I feel as if it absolutely delivered. I thought it would be good. I definitely thought it would be good. I knew that, but this was a lot better than I had even hoped, which is dope. Don't worry though. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. I don't give away the spoilers. I don't go all in like that. I want you to get a Siskel and Ebert like experience out of listening to me review this movie. I want you to know whether I liked it or not, and whether I think you should go see it. And I definitely think you should go see this if you're into the Marvel things for sure. This one has like just about every superhero that has come around so far. There are some notable absences that I think are going to play storyline wise into the next one, but this was all the big guns. You got your Captain America, you got your Thor, you got your Iron Man, you got your Black Panther, you got your Spider-Man, you got the Guardians of the Galaxy, you got the Hulk, you got just about everybody that you're going to want to see fighting against Thanos, the Mad Titan. I hope you caught that episode that I did about Thanos the other week, the audio handbook of the Marvel Universe, because I got into depth on Thanos, and he's a good villain with a motivation that you can understand. In the comics, at least. His motivation in the movie differs from the comics, but it's still fine. He's more of like an omnipotent powerhouse than somebody who you gotta see how they were wronged to feel their problems. He's a godlike being, man. He has godlike thoughts, godlike interests, and godlike pursuits, like the pursuit of the Infinity Gauntlet. The Infinity Gauntlet's this gimmick where it has like these stones in it, and each one of the stones makes you have control over like a different aspect of reality. There's like a time gem, a soul gem, and there's other ones too. The gems are kind of like the MacGuffin of the whole thing. The real deal is, will Thanos destroy everything when he gets a hold of all the gems, or will he not? I'm gonna say the movie delivers in that sense. You find out, you get a cliffhanger, but you also get a satisfying ending. This is gonna be a 2-parter. I knew that going in. I thought the second part was coming a bit sooner. It's not till like around this time next year. I thought it was sooner than that. I don't know why I thought that, but in between that and this, you're going to get Ant-Man and the Wasp, and you're going to get Captain Marvel, and then you're going to get it. But you'll really be looking forward to it by the time it comes out. There are so many fun parts in this. The beginning has some comedic elements that are legitimately very funny. I laughed out loud numerous times during the course of the flick, and this is something I like to do. I like to look over and like sneak a peek of a 2.0 or gal pal to see if they're having fun during the movie. I want us all to have a good time, and I want to see if they're feeling it. Now, while I'm sneaking peeks out of the corner of my eye, I see them both like they're like wide mouth laughing at some of these some of these jokes. Peter Quill, who is, he's Star-Lord. Chris Pratt, good old Chris Pratt. He's got a lot of good lines, and Tony Stark has a lot of good zingers. There's some good interplay between Rocket Raccoon and an older Groot, older grumpy Galaga playing Groot. He has a small little Galaga game that he plays with. That's something that's sure to get a nice feeling from our boy Vic Sage, of the Diary of an Arcade Employee podcast. So you get some zings at the beginning, you get a lot of fun, but then they move to Earth. This is like the sort of deal where there's people and they're recruiting other people as they go along for the big thing. So they go from space, and then they go and they try to recruit Doctor Strange, and there's some neat interplay there between Dr. Banner, the Hulk himself, and those guys. Let's check that out, and then we will be right back.
What's our timeline?
No telling. He has the power in space stones. That already makes him the strongest creature in the whole universe. If he gets his hands on all 6 stones, Tony...
He could destroy life on a scale hitherto undreamt of.
Did you seriously just say hitherto undreamt of?
Are you seriously leaning on the cauldron of the cosmos? Is that what it is?
If Thanos needs all 6, why don't we just stick this one down the garbage disposal?
No can do.
We swore an oath to protect the time stone with our lives.
And I swore off dairy, but then Ben & Jerry's named a flavor after me, so...
Start craving hazelnuts.
Not bad.
Bit choppy.
Sorry, it's a hard time using the cassette player. I gotta hold it up against the mic. I taped that off TV using a little handheld tape recorder. But what are you gonna do, man? Highest production values up here on the good old Toys R Us report. That was of course your Hulk, your Doctor Strange, your Wong, and your good old Tony Stark, who is, of course, Iron Man, the dude who got the jump it at the very beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I, myself, really like Doctor Strange in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like him in the comics. I've read a few Doctor Strange things here or there. He's not my favorite. He's not my least favorite, but he is somebody I do like. But Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange might be the most perfect matchup of character and actor since Robert Downey Jr. himself became Iron Man, or maybe Chris Evans became Captain America. I don't know. They got a lot of pretty good casting, but Cumberbatch is a perfect Doctor Strange, and he has an underrated comedic timing in this. He's pretty funny. He has some zingers too, and there are parts where him and Thanos are going one-on-one. He's going one-on-one with the Mad Titan himself, and he's holding his own. Doctor Strange he might be like, let's rate the power of the dudes in the Marvel universe, Marvel movie universe. You got, probably at your top, you have Thor. He beats Hulk in Thor Ragnarok, and then you probably have your Hulk, and then you got your Doctor Strange, and I don't know, man. I might put Wong, like, right there below Doctor Strange. Wong, he's not exactly at Doctor Strange's level, but he's training with Doctor Strange, so he might be, like, right next below. And then you got, like, all the dudes who are good at, like, leaping and things like that all down there. But it's really great. You get to see, like, this one-on-one battle between Doctor Strange and Thanos, and he's casting spells, he's throwing illusions, and that was really great. I have an appreciation for him that has increased, I would say. I thought this was a really good, really fun movie. It delivers on a lot of levels, and I think that for me, the Marvel movies they're kind of hit and miss. They've been on a roll as of late with Thor Ragnarok was really great. Black Panther was really great. And, then you're going into this. It's all good stuff. Oh, and Guardians 2. That was really great. And that's all in a row. They're hitting. I got Thor Ragnarok on Blu-ray over at Joe Video. I got a used copy for $7.99, and I watched that again at home, and while I did like it in the theater, I kind of felt like it underdelivered. But then watching it again, I'm like, you were totally wrong. This movie's great. So I definitely appreciate that. And To me, the best of all the Marvel flicks is Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which was directed by the Russo brothers, who also directed this. So that increased my hopes going in, and like I said a few minutes ago, those hopes were delivered. I don't wanna give away any spoilers, but I do wanna say, man, the carnage is vast in this movie. The carnage is on a scale I have never before seen in a movie of this sort. It gets started, and it's like, dude falls. It's something, and not at all in the way that you would expect. They all die like cowards. I'm just kidding. Nobody dies. Everybody makes it, and in the end, they just they come to peace with Thanos, and they all figure things out with their words, not their fists. That's the big twist in the whole thing. I'm opening something right now. I went down to the donut shop to get a coffee. I like it down there. The atmosphere is nice, and I like donuts. But as you know, I'm on a sugar embargo. But I did want to get a coffee, so I grabbed one there. To me, you could go to the fancy market next to the donut shop. We have a really nice gourmet food place right there. But the donut shop also has coffee, and to me, to be more of a man of the people, I like to get donut shop coffee, not gourmet market coffee. Even though the market coffee is much better, there's something to be said for coffee that you gotta fill full of Splenda just to get any flavor for it. Probably nothing good, but nevertheless, I like to go there, and this is such a sidebar, and I absolutely apologize. I just saw this out of the corner of my eye. I forgot that I got it. I put a quarter in one of the vending machines that had food item erasers, and I got a taco. I think it's a taco. It might be like a gyro. It's hard to say. It's really malformed, but I opened it right here in front of you guys. It's an audio unboxing of the taco / gyro from the donut shop. Super boring story. I apologize. Not at all worth your time. It's hard to pad these things out without giving away too many spoilers, too many details. I don't know. I might as well go full spoilers, which I'm not gonna do. I'm not that type. But it's you might as well, because everybody kind of tends to see it the first weekend, or they wait forever to see it. In which you can't be protected from spoilers if you're waiting forever to see it. The spoiler alerts are really for dudes who are opening weekend types. Let's hop on over to tomatoes and see what kind of details we can get on the tomato meter. It is 93% with the audience, 84% with the critics. That feels about right. There is 156 minutes in the movie. It plays long. It was directed by the Russo brothers, written by Christopher Marcus, who also, this dude wrote The Winter Soldier. He wrote Civil War. He wrote Thor: The Dark World. That's Thor, the not good one. He wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobes, the famous Chronicles of Narnia. Let's see, what else? It stars pretty much everybody. I just got a message from Gino Vega. We're talking about the Mir versus Fedor fight, and he agrees with me. We both think Fedor is going to win, but that it's totally up in the air. Did you hear that bloop? That was Gino Vega. I'm recording this on Saturday the 28th. He's at the beach. I saw he's at the at Bodega Bay or something. That's public Facebook knowledge. The movie's 156 minutes. Yada yada yada. It stars Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Don Cheadle, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Karen Gillian, Tom Hiddleston, Anthony Mackie, Paul Bettany, Zoe Saldana, Sebastian Stan, Idris Elba, Dave Bautista, Big Dave, Benedict Wong, who plays Wong, Vin Diesel as Groot, Bradley Cooper, and just about anybody else that you'd want to see in one of these, except for some notable exceptions I mentioned earlier without mentioning anything, but I liked it. Let's get to the part where I talk about the mics. So on the Oh, this was interesting too. Before another sidebar, the theater was totally sold out, totally packed. They had these commemorative buckets. I got the commemorative popcorn bucket, and then they had these other buckets that were character buckets. They had Black Widow, Captain America, the Hulk, and Iron Man, but they were totally sold out, and it's only Saturday. They massively underordered. I would have gotten one for each of us just so I could check them all out. They didn't have one, but we got the big commemorative bucket, and they threw in a commemorative drink cup. I like commemorative tumblers. I don't know. They're good for when the weather gets hot and you want like a giant glass of Kool-Aid or a giant glass of ice water that you drink with a strizzaw. But as we were going in, they were having some kind of an event in the theater next to ours. I don't know what it was about. I think it was some kind of an anti-autism rally or whatever. But they had a giant table full of kids packs. Those square cardboard packs that have a little bit of popcorn, a little bitty soda drink, and an M&M. They had a table full of those, but the event was underattended, so they gave one to 2.0 and her gal pals. So we had the popcorn, we had the big popcorn, the kids packs. It was really great. And then I'm kind of looking around as people are coming in, and every single person got a kids pack except for me. I was there. I got there a little early. I wanted to sit down and check out some of my Pokemons before the movie starts. Even though I had a reserved seat, I'm still in the habit of showing up early, but what are you going to do? I'm glad they got one, even if I did not. So, I'm the good old-fashioned Source Magazine mic meter with one being a dud and 5 being an all-time classic. I am going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to give Avengers Infinity War, just because it's a pure scope, a good old 4 mics.
4 mics.
Please drop by supportthereport.com and consider becoming a show patron for as low as a measly $1 a month. It's the right thing to do. You've made it this far. It's time. The final segment, your weekly toy shop update, the Toys R Us report.
All right, my dudes, we are back for what is the final segment of the show, the one in which we talk about different, toy-related things, or maybe TV shows that I watch, things like that. This is like your odds and ends segment, the end, the final part, where we go and we say goodbye when we are done. What's going on? Let's see. There's actually quite a lot. In the saga of Toys R Us, we know that Toys R Us is going through a bankruptcy right now. They are in the process of shutting down the shows as we know it, but that doesn't mean it's the end. It's not the end for Canada. All of the Toys R Us stores in Canada were purchased by a firm named Fairfax, and then the Toys R Us in England were bought by an Irish toy company called Smyths. So, you never know, man. At one point, the CEO of the company that owns Bratz, the Bratz dolls, he put in an offer for the entire thing that was rejected, and that was a pretty rough blow when that happened, because I really felt like this is it. This is the end, but it turns out I think that they rejected the offer because they knew that they might be getting a better price for the Canadian stores and some of the European stores rather. So they held out, and the Bratz chap has said that he is going to be making a new offer, a sweeter offer for 273 of the American stores. As of now, that has not happened now. Make note, I am recording this show a while before you will get to hear it. With this injury-plagued household that I have, I got to I gotta do the recording when the time is available, so I got some time now, so I'm doing it. So it's a bit before the release date, though, so things may have changed by that point. If they do, follow over on the Facebook page, facebook.com/ICRobots. I'm doing my best to stay on top of all this stuff. To be honest, I have not given up all hope. This is something we have talked about before. It does seem there's going to be an offer at some point for 273 of the stores. That's not by any means all the stores. There are 700 stores, but you probably got to discount the ones that were already slated to be shut. That was a couple hundred of them. So I don't know, man. I do in some ways feel that hope is not lost, and it could be that we will be still going to Toys R Us stores in the future after the bankruptcy stuff all dies down. I don't know. It feels like a long shot, but it does feel like you never know. It's a possibility. The people in Canada and the people in England, they probably thought it was all over for them, and it wasn't. So you never know, man. You never know. It's not over until the end. Seriously though, I'm trying to be hopeful, man. I'm hoping for the best. I keep saying hope, but it's like in Star Wars, man. They all have hope. You just got to have hope. What else has been going on? I actually went out garage sailing the other day. It's not something that I do very often. I'm not as much into garage sales as I am as the dig or the thrift store and the flea market. What I don't like about it is like you're driving around and you stop and maybe they have some stuff, maybe they don't. It's like you're putting a lot of mileage in for a lot of maybes. Whereas if you go to the flea market, everybody's there. They're all there in front of you, and you just have to walk around. And I don't have the best luck. I see people on like Facebook groups posting all these cool things like Darth Vader heads full of old school figures and all this stuff. I just don't ever find anything like that. But while I was driving around, I saw a sign for a flea market inside of a trailer park, and trailer parks are there, they're like on the side, and I don't have a lot of reason to ever drive inside of them. So they're like these unexplored lands, and I saw the chance to go in. So I'm like, this will be cool. And on the sign it said flea market, bake sale, pizza. And I said, oh, pizza? They got pizza in there? Oh, word? I had to go check it out. I'm a pizza dude, man. I love pizza, and I love flea markets, and I love bake sales. I like bake sales too. I think that's a cool way to raise money. It works out for everybody. Somebody gets a cookie, that somebody being me. I pay a couple dollars. I get to do a nice donation while filling myself full of chocolate chips or whatever. It's all good. Even though I am presently on a sugar embargo, I do appreciate the art. So anyway, I go on inside, and this place was like a retro wonderland. I didn't find a lot of great stuff, I want to say that, but this trailer park had this beautiful old school retro vibe to it. It was like the 70s had come alive again. The flea market was in this common area, and then it also expanded into a interior clubhouse where the pizza and the stuff was at. And this was the best part to me, because when I went inside, not only did I find pizza, and I'll get to that in a second, but I saw an activity bulletin board for all the different things that they do inside the clubhouse, and amongst them were a ham radio club. That sounds so great to me. I have always been interested in the world of ham radio. Not enough that I'm like gonna go out and invest in a set of ham radio stuff or anything, but I do think it's cool. I think that I was interested, but I took that interest into doing IC Robots radio instead. But if that never existed, I could possibly be a radio ham. But you never know. But anyway, they had like a ham radio club, and then they had a couple different workout groups. They had jazzercise and something size, but then they had my favorite one. They had one that said VCR workouts, and I looked around the room, and they had like an old school TV setup, the kind that's on the floor, the big console style TVs on top of the VCR, and on top of that, was a stack of like Jane Fonda workouts, butt buster workouts, all these cool things. And I'm thinking the people get together every once and again and they do a VCR workout. I'm like, that is so great. If I lived here, I would be so down for the VCR workout class. I guess I could do that at my house. I got a nice rug on the floor and I got a VCR. I could do Buns of Steel, but I don't. Maybe I'm only saying I'd be down when I really wasn't. But then you never know, man. Maybe just the motivation of seeing the weekly VCR workout thing might get me to get those abs of steel. You never know. I think I do know that I wouldn't be doing it, but you never know. Hope springs eternal. Anyway, I was perusing my way around, and they didn't really have a lot of great stuff at the flea market. I found a workout Barbie in the box for the wife. She was at home, ailing. So this Barbie was something that really, helped to perk her up. But I found the pizza, and that was great, man. I loved it. Somebody there was making homemade pizza pies, and they were slinging them in the oven and pulling them out, and it was like 75 cents a slice. You could buy a whole pizza for $5. I didn't want to be a glutton. I realized I could have brought some home for the crew, but I didn't want to do that either. I just wanted the slice, so I got myself a nice slice of cheese. It was a bit doughy, but it was also a bit delicious. It was well seasoned. The cheese was of a nice quality. They could have kept it in the oven for a while longer, but that's all fine. I realize some people do like that doughy style. I like a thin, like a crispier, not a full on like a tortilla kind of crust, where it's like a thin, like crunchy tortilla. I do like it thin though, but this was good. I was very, very pleased with the pizza, very pleased with the VCR workout. The flea market was only, I did get that Barbie and it was only like $10, and that's a bit more than I like to spend for an item, but considering it's something that she collects, she's on her deathbed, and that it might help perk her up enough to make it to the next day. That is probably, in fact, worth 10 of my hard-earned clams. I also went to an estate sale. Estate sales are interesting. It's weird to go through people's entire houses and see their stuff. The only thing I got there was I got an Atari game. I got a copy of Dig Dug in the box. I don't presently have an Atari 2600, but I like the way that the games look on the shelf. One time I saw a picture of Ferg, and this is Ferg from the Atari 2600 Game by Game podcast, which is one of my favorite shows. I saw his Atari room. It was a picture of him, and you could see all of his games over his shoulder, and he had they were color coordinated, and they looked great. They're like how you keep books on a shelf, and I wanted to get it an entire shelf of Atari games and have a display like that. So the Dig Dug is going toward that. I only have 3 or 4 games right now. I need at least 20 maybe. I also got a couple manuals. I enjoy flipping through old manuals. I scanned in a couple pages of one. I'm going to post it on ISRrobots.com, but I threw them in the Christmas junk box. This is going to be a thing again this year. I got the Christmas junk box all ready to go. It's full of neat stuff already. This might turn out to be a double junk box. I don't know. This is what we did last year, where over the course of the 12 months, I collected a bunch of stuff in a box in my office, and then when Christmas rolled around, I gave it away as a incentive to go and do something for Toys for Tots or whatever it is you have in your neighborhood. It's like a Toys for Tots equivalent. If you bought something, you got a chance to win the box. It went to Phil Carey, and my man Phil took it over to the Arcadia Retrocade, and they played with it there. It was a lot of fun. I got a post on ISRrobots.com about that too. So I threw the manuals in there. That's going to be something you may be able to get your hands on when the year rolls around. Let's see. What else is popping off? I've started getting into Blu-rays. I don't know if I even mentioned this on a previous episode. I think that I have. I don't know, but we went ahead and we got a new TV, and I decided, might as well get a Blu-ray player with it as well. I don't know. I've never had one. I have a DVD player, but I've never upgraded it. So we've been getting some Blu-rays. What I like to do is I get them over at Joe Video here in Santa Rosa. They have a pretty fair collection of previously viewed Blu-rays, and you can get them for $8 or $9 a piece. I got I got Thor Ragnarok. That one had a lot of neat extras on it. Character bios, a neat video where Jeff Goldblum's character comes down to Earth and lives with an Earthling roommate. That's worth checking out. I got that. I got Rogue One. Rogue One had a lot of neat featurettes as well. There was one on each of the major characters. The one on Saw Gerrera was particularly interesting. What else did I get? This past week I picked up Lady Bird. I got that on a previously viewed. I'm trying to picture my stack. I haven't gotten to watch Lady Bird yet. It has a director commentary, that's like the bare minimum when it comes to putting something on a DVD extra, director commentary. I'm still want to check it out, though. I'm curious what Greta Gerwig has to say about some of the Sacramento locations, like the thrift village or the thrift town or whatever it is that they go and they get stuff. I got X-Men 2 and Dark Knight. I got those at the flea market. I got those for like $6 total. That was cool. I'm really straining for stuff that's going on. In a little bit, I'm going to talk about some Star Wars figures that I looked at and a couple that I bought, but I'm trying to flesh it out with interesting stuff. One thing that I like about getting the previously viewed Blu-rays is that I get to help out the good old Joe Video. I get to help out the video store, but I don't have to return what I bought. It costs twice as much, but at the same time, I don't get to drive all the way across town over by Food Max to return it. So I think that I'm saving money as far as like saving time. Time is money, You got to think how much your time is worth, and then how much time you're going to spend to go return something before you consider it. Plus, it's cool. You get to keep it. You get to put it on a shelf. It's fun. You can loan it out to somebody else. Once you've seen it, who even cares if you get it back? It's like, it's already in my brain, man. I don't need the actual physical thing here to enjoy it. But it would be nice. It would be nice if you returned my Lady Bird Blu-ray, bro. I think I found all the Solo figures from the upcoming Han Solo, a Star Wars story. Is that what it is? Or is it just Solo? I'm not sure. It's the one about the origin of that cosmic scallywag by the name of Han Solo. There's also a bit of Chewbacca. I am way looking forward to this. As you know, I ate the pancakes and went to the Denny's. I've been on the hunt for the toys, and I think that I found them all. There's a bit of a trick here, I think, as far as your ability to acquire a Han Solo action figure. As far as I can tell, and this is just me checking them out at the store. I haven't really gone online or looked or anything. There are like three different Han Solos, but to get them, you got to get either the Millennium Falcon, which is $99, or that blue land speeder that he zips around in at one part, or you have to get the what is it called? The Force Link, the thing that you like wear on your wrist and it makes the figures talk or something. I am not super sure what it is about all in all, but the Force Link gimmick deal thing. I don't have one. Do you have one?
The Force is in your hands like never before. Use the Force Link to activate real movie phrases.
The darkness guides me.
And battle action sounds. Connect to over 30 Force Link figures and power up the TIE Silencer with lights and sounds. Control your epic Star Wars adventures. Now the Star Wars galaxy answers to you. Force Link Band comes with one figure. Other figures and vehicles each sold separately. Batteries not included.
It's that thing. You wear it on your wrist and it plays sounds. Do any of you guys have that? I do not have that. I don't know if any of the figures that I have are Force Link activated. I don't think so. I just buy the cheapy ones. Hold on. Let me look back here. I wonder if I'm down on the Earth base, as you know. I wonder if my A-Wing, the A-Wing with Tally, I wonder if that's Force Link activated. I don't know. But the only way that you can get your hands on good old Han is to buy one of those. I couldn't, as far as I could ascertain, there may not be a there may not be like a loose Han Solo that you can get. There's not a loose Lando Calrissian. I keep calling him Londo. I think it's because I'm saying Han instead of Han. I'm saying Londo instead of Lando. I should just go back to Han and Lando. Good old Han and Lando. But you can't get a solo Lando, and you can't get a single Han Solo as far as I can tell. Maybe they just all got bought up in the early days. There's a lot of toy scalpers around here. There's a lot of the dudes, it seems like they buy some of the newer cool stuff and they take it over to the Bat Cave. That's our vintage toy and comic store here in town. I like it. I do like it. I enjoy the Bat Cave. They have a lot of cool things in there. The environment's fine. The prices are all fairly reasonable. It's the kind of place where they have different vendors. There's different vendors in different spots, and the prices, they do vary. Some of them are very reasonable, but I don't find any of them to be over the top. I buy stuff there from time to time. I bought a bunch of comics. They had a pretty neat dollar comic bin. If I go in there and I look around, I feel like I should buy something because it's not a museum. They got to stay open. These dudes got to pay their bills. I don't have the things there just for kicks. My brother-in-law has a kiosk over there. He sells stuff. Check this out. He recently took over a vending spot at the flea market, the one here in town that's designated for food, right? I don't want to blow his cover. This is his story to tell, but I'm going to tell it anyway. The booth next to him sold food, and they were going out. They were going to leave the circuit, so he bought them out. But I didn't realize that at the flea market they have each of the different type of food has a monopoly on that food. For example, the dude that sells donuts is the only guy that can sell donuts there. The one that sells popcorn, the only one that can sell popcorn. She will not get another popcorn vendor. So when he bought this stand, he bought the rights to sell this and be the only one who can sell this. It's cool. At one point, he was gonna get the hot dog truck, but that ended up falling through for whatever reason. But then he would have been the dude that has the monopoly rights to sell hot dogs at the flea market, and that's something, because I see a lot of hot dogs for sale there. What I mean to say is I see a lot of different people eating wieners, eating Franks over at the flea market. I myself have bought a couple Franks from that dude too. He has a special where you get like a Frank and a soda and a bag of chips for like $2.50. It's pretty good. I've bought it before, but he was going to get that, but he didn't get that. He instead got something else that is a ubiquitous American food. So he should be doing pretty good with this. I've gone over there and I've seen him slinging these, and he looks like he's doing all right. I'm happy for Bro, but he's got the booth at the Batcave, and he's got that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the good stuff gets bought up by these Batcave guys. Not all the Batcave guys. There's a lot of the figures that I have a hard time finding at the store. I find over at the Batcave. I'm sure you guys all have some place in your region that kind of has this sort of thing going on. What else is popping? I don't know. I think that I'm going to get up out of here with this caretaking I've been going through, man. It's been a burden, man. I get here when I can, and I record when I can. I do the stuff when the time's available, but it's becoming a bit of burden, and because of that, there's not going to be a new show next week. We're going to have a classic episode repost. I got some doctor's visits, stuff like that. It's all out of my hands, man. Real life is intruding into the good old Toys R Us report. So it'll be like a fun classic episode repost. Maybe if I get the chance, I'll throw up like a real wisdom later in the week for you guys to check out. Maybe I'll put up the one. We'll stay on the Star Wars tip. I made one about The Last Jedi. I'll sling that up there, and you guys can check that out. Those are short. They're fun. Real Wisdom's another show I do. In it, I look at films and what sort of moral lessons you can get. For example, I did one about Rogue One the other week, and I talked about this speech she gives about taking chances and how the best way to go at your problems in life is like one little bit at a time, so you don't get so you don't get overwhelmed with one big thing. It's fun. You want to check that out, Real Wisdom, next week. I will do my best to be back the week after that. This is all going to be coming back. Eventually, I'll be back on the space station. It's going to be fun. Hop on over to iTunes. Leave us an iTunes review. Since you're going to have an extra week, maybe we can gather some of these up and check them out the next episode when we come back. Hit me up with any ideas you have about episodes you might like to hear about This Boring Life. I'm thinking, what about food? Food might be the next one. Maybe TV, I think. Tell me if you think this is a good idea. Hit me up on Twitter or on Facebook, facebook.com, backslash IC Robots. And let me know if you think this is a good one. What about a mini where I tackle two topics? The topics I thought were games we used to play, like various incarnations of tag. And then the other one would be about places that used to have video games in them. Like different places I would go to play games and various memories about that. Like the 7-Eleven, the pinball machine in the 7-Eleven, the Aladdin's Castle, stuff like that. Two different things, maybe equaling out to 45 to 50 minutes. Let me know. Let me know if you think a mini-sode is a good idea. Also, I'm going to say it again, we need some iTunes reviews. They help us out. Look it up. It's IC Robots Radio. You get all the shows on the feed. If you can hop over there, give us a review. I'll read it on the show. Be like Sammy Delgo. Be like Stuntman Mike. Be like everyone else who's a good bro and did this for us. So until next time, it's gonna be a bit of time. You guys are on your own. So until next time, this is me, IC Robot, signing out. This is episode number 152, Avengers Infinity War. Until we meet again, my friends. If you don't know, now you know.
Poor Gullet can feel your thoughts. No lie is safe. What have you really brought me, cargo pilot? Poor Gullet will know the truth. The unfortunate side effect is that one tends to lose one's mind.
This is 36 KICU, San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland.